Hey guys, Dan Holland here with SolutionToolbox.com. This is our 6th video in the series creating a website from start to finish using SiteBuilder. So far in the series we have created our layout, we have assigned zones to our layout, we have developed some CSS and attached that to our layout, and we have also uploaded all the images. So what I'd like to do in this video is start dropping some content in some of our zones. So let me pull this design over here. And what I'd like to get started with is I want to get the logo in here, and I also want to work on the menu up top. So to do that, I'm here on my dashboard, and I'm going to come up here to Manage Zones, and I'm going to click on the Manage Zones link here. And I can see the logo zone that I created from my layout. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the HTML link here, and this will open up a WYSIWYG editor for us. And right now there's nothing in here, but over on the left hand side I can see all the images that I uploaded. So all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on logo, and I'm going to drag it over here on my screen so we can see the logo there. And that's really all we need to do for this zone here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and update, and we're finished with that. So the next part is I want to work on the menu. So I'm going to come up here to Manage Zones again and click on Manage Menus. And once again, we can see the main menu that we defined on the layout. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the HTML link here. And this will open up the menu editor. So right off the bat, you're gonna get a couple links here for free. And that's okay. We can remove these links. And over here on the left-hand side, we can see all the properties and settings of the menu that we can use to design it. So I'm going to just start here on the first tab, and I'm just going to work my way down. So obviously, this is a horizontal menu. You can use some predefined skins here, but in our case I already have a design, so I'm just going to go ahead and set this to not set. Menu line, we're going to go ahead and line this menu to the left. Now for the width of my menu, I already measured it, and it's going to be 664 pixels, and the height is going to be 62 pixels. So moving down, I don't need a background color because I'm going to use a background image. So if I drop this list down here, we should be able to see the menu BG file that I already uploaded. The next thing that we're going to set here is some padding, just to give us a little space around it. You'll be able to see this effect once I start designing the menu here. But I'm going to go ahead and add a padding on the top of, let's say, 5 pixels. I'm sorry, that's not the top, that's left. The top of 5 pixels here, and from the left hand side I'm going to add an 8 pixel padding there. So if I go ahead and hit save and preview over here, we can start to see the menu coming together. It's not quite there yet, but we're getting close. So now I'm going to come over here to the link tab where I can style the link itself. And I already measured my link, but they're approximately 108 pixels wide. So I'm going to click that, and they're going to be 40 pixels tall. I don't need to set a background image or a background color, but I am going to change some font settings here. It is going to be Arial 13. I do want them aligned centered, but the font color here is going to be gray. See if I can find it in here. There it is. And this is also going to be bold. And if I go ahead and refresh again, we can kind of see how these start to come together. So the next thing I want to work on is the hover effect, because if you look here at my original image, you can kind of see the effect I was going for. When you hover over, you kind of get the red background. So I'm going to click on the hover tab, and then what we need to do here is select the background image, which I have called, I believe, menu hover. Yep, there it is, menu hover. And once again, I'm going to change this to 13 pixels for the font size. But when they hover over it, I want to change it from gray to white. So I can either type in the color code here, or I can select it from the list here. Either way will get you the same place. And then I also want to make sure that this is bold. So if I go ahead and hit save and preview again, now when we mouse over the menus, we should get the effect. So the very last thing that I have to do for my menu is get all the links correct. So if I look at the original menu, you can see we have Home, About, Services, Solutions, Partners, and Contacts. So to do that, I'm going to come over here to the Menu Structure tab, and we can see that we have a couple links already here. So Home looks good. About Us, I need to change the text on this. So if I go ahead and click on that, let's open up a little editor window here, and I can just remove this About link there. And you can see right now it's just manually linking back to the home page. So I'm going to change that. I want this to link to a content page. So I'm going to click on content page here, and it's going to ask me which page do I want to link it to. Well, I haven't created any pages yet, so I'm just going to leave it on create new content page, and it will automatically create a page called what I have the link up here. So it's going to create a page called About. So I'm just going to say Update Menu, and then we can move on to the next one. So the next one is called Services. So I'm going to delete this contact out, type in Services, and this is going to be the second item, and it's stored at the root level. You can also create nested menus if for example you wanted to put services underneath the home menu, you could do that, but in our case it's just we're going to have one tier, so we'll leave it set to the root. It's going to be the second item in the list, and once again it's going to link to a content page, and we're going to let it create a new one for us. So I'm going to say Update Menu Item, and then I'm going to add a couple new ones here. So click Add New Menu Item. We'll call this one Solutions, and this will be the third menu item, and once again it'll be a content page. We'll let it create a new content page. We'll say Create, and we're going to add another one called Partners. This will be the fourth menu item, and once again this will be a content page, and another one, we'll call it Contacts, and this will be the fifth menu item, and finally a content page. We'll click Create. So now if we click Refresh Sitemap over here, we can see all the new menus, and if we click Save and Preview over here, we can see that it's going to refresh my list. So now we can see the full menu coming into play. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I hit the Save and Preview button, and then we can move on to the next step.